Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears. The wait is finally over. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis here on the start of a new NFL season, and we kick it off with a bang on Thursday night.
What's interesting about these Thursday night games is oftentimes we hear people say, is it really fair for players to play on Thursday night? But what did we hear from both of these teams going into this one? How excited they were to have the spotlight on their teams, their franchises, the rest of the league watching them go at it.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd and 12, Allen. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
And I think we're all eager to see how this offense responds, because we know this is a big spot. National TV game to start the season. The whole league and the whole country watching this one. Last year, though, the Packers, the Bears, neither one of them did a whole lot offensively. A 10-3 final. Let's see if the defenses exert their will early in this one.
Allen now looks to throw. And this one complete to Smith. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it is permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. He'll have a first down past the 40. Shields a second there.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
And all the way down to the 5. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
Check, 47. Hey, I'm coming.
Back to throw. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Allen. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. But now it'll be 3rd down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Allen. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 20. A very good return there, giving an even 20 yards. And the Bears take over. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
Yeah, I feel a little bad here because we missed out talking about these guys on the opening drive because they were in the end zone before we had a chance to even say anything. But let's keep an eye on these wideouts. QB already has 1 touchdown pass. You know he's looking for a few more before this one's over. Those wideouts will get plenty of opportunities to try and score again.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
Cameron Jordan's now one of those versatile defensive linemen who can play all up and down the front. Whether he's playing tackle or end, he knows how to make plays.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Looking to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw here. Now the ball comes loose.
We got this.
And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really rapid.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A 6-yard touchdown run as the Bears push further out in front. Well, they weren't messing around. 1st and goal, they don't do anything fancy. They just go to the fullback right away.
I like how you phrase that because oftentimes they come back to the fullback when it's late in the down and distance count, right? In this case, 1st down, let's go get it right now.
And he got it. 6 points on the board. The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. To throw, it's Allen. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
He's got the first down and more past midfield. Past the 20, 10, touchdown, Chicago! How about that? Their quarterback with his second touchdown in this opening quarter as the Bears push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right down behind center. Well, here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end Cook. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. Boy. Not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 21-0 our score after 1.
Here we go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Right back to him on first down. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. 53 yards as the Bears push further out in front. Well, a lot of things have to go right for an option pitch to be successful. Everything lined up there on the long run.
It does, because you have to make the proper read. Doesn't matter what guy you've decided is going to be read on the defensive front. You still have to execute it. If he comes to the quarterback, you saw there, pitch it out to the running back, and off he goes. A lot of teams don't like to run the option because they don't like having their quarterback hit.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Player spotlight time, and that player spotlight is shining on A.J. McCarron. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. After the sack on first down, Allen, quick strip, the ball's out. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If if that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
You're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Here's Allen. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. On second down, Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack. Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 33. Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him? Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable. Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down. Now throwing on first down and completing it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Here we go.
It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
50 plays. Strong leg.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen. And his throw is incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Allen. That's caught. It's Thomas. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's go.
If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Kamara trying again. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with what I said. I have no idea.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Let's get off the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. And they give this time to the tailback. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. Of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. The 20. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. As his guys continue to pour it on. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point kicker. Exactly. You put him through the post. That's going to help him with contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him with contract time. You could have kicked that one.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about toe bash. Super tough.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be a second down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing again on second down. Allen, he's got Smith here. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Allen to throw once more. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Again, they'll throw with Allen. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Now Allen again. Incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Well, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant to the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go, let's go.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. An anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Ready? 50, play. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo! Sponge. No. Blue draw corkers. Deep river.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
You better be afraid of me. 6'6", bullet high. Hit it.
They'll throw now on the final play. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. As far as the early games go, we'll be watching that one in Houston. The Texans in for a fight as they get set to do battle with the Detroit Lions. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being down in the desert, where it'll be the Cardinals at home in Glendale, taking on the LA Rams. And then on Sunday night, the national audience in for a treat. They've got a good one lined up between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of a key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Give them the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a play fake here on first down. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a gain of 35.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And that is caught. What a grab at the 8. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll drop to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll run for it with Toussaint. And he is unable to get in. They stop him at... The line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and goal.
Well, they held him out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal.
Here we go, here we go. Ready.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Taking it in from a yard out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. With just 3 rushing touchdowns, and of course throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And a lead will swell by 1 more. A lot of points put on the board so far by this offense. Now they're looking for more. Already winning here in the second half. Ball in the red zone. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here's 2nd and 8. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown. This offense has been lighting the scoreboard up. Now the question, can they add to their lead? We drop you in a red zone situation in the second half. He can run for it, and he will. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Smith. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. It's the fullback. Already his 2nd touchdown. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Bears, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Now we're cooking. It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead. And we're off in week 2. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Orchestrating the offense, the former 3-time captain at Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
And I'll bet right now there's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Cook, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And we roll now on the graphics for the offensive starters.
Let's take a look at the left tackle, Taylor Lewan. A big, gregarious guy with great athletic ability. Plays the game with a little bit of an edge. In fact, he doesn't play to the whistle. He plays to the echo of the whistle.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. Of course, remember last week, week number 1, quite the opener for him. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he does not want to be a flash in the pan. He wants to have that type of a game each and every week. Let's see if he can get a second award in week 2 of the season.
Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Ready?
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. This one caught by Chesson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play calls think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
60 outlaw.
Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Here we go. 10-2, sir. 54.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
They definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal.
60-yard.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there. And he's got a Bears touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt, because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This on that first drive, we'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves you that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. We'll look now at our starting defense. Currently #1 in the NFL against the run.
And that's a ranking that feels good, right? To be #1 and to be the top of your profession. But here's the problem. It's only week 1.
1 week, yeah.
Can they do it 15 more times? If so, then we really got something to talk about.
That's the challenge. And the Bears in the nickel. No, wait, they're in the dime. 6 DBs out there on third.
Could play an exotic coverage.
Throwing is Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. This is taken at the 23. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He finds an opening past the 40. Fighting through, and he's got space. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
McLaughlin for the extra point. good to make it 14-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
And partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He'll find his receiver. That's Chad Beebe.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Cousins. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Maurice Hurst. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
To try again after the sack. Cousins, the throw complete to Beebe. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Third and long for Cousins. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago.
Yeah, good job. That's the way you make it.
What we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And it is now 21-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
This, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. And the running lane's not non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Pulled in at the 24. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Whoosh, 20, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. Their mobile, agile quarterback with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as the Bears push further out in front. So a designed run all the way, and he took it the distance. I don't know that anybody saw that coming.
Well, on this play, how about the vision of him, being able to see the open field, make his move, and get there. Oftentimes, defenses have a spy for the quarterback position to try and take care of it. On that play, if they did, it certainly didn't work. Yeah, there's no doubt.
McLaughlin for the extra point. It's 28-0 now. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And he's on the heels of winning the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award. He had a pair of sacks in last week's game, Charles.
So much for adjusting, so much for game planning, right? You know that he had the 2 sacks last week. Why aren't you able to block him? Sometimes the superior athlete just wins.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. This will be fielded at the 17. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6.
So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They've got the lead right now as they start this drive 1st and 10. Of course, remember they beat the Saints a week ago, so some good momentum rolling right now. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a 1st down.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down. From Viking territory now. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 23. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
He gives it up. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. He'll look to throw. And this is taken in by Wilson for a Bears touchdown. From 19 yards away as his guys continue to pour it on. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the route is on here in this 1st half. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do we get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. No gain on the dump off. It's 2nd down. And they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50, past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, you're still in the 1st half. You do have the entire 2nd half. There's something about that goose egg that just wasn't bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, and they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
70, Indy.
Check the outs, check the outs, check the outs.
Get it.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. That is caught. right at the 10-yard line. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of...
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. From 10 yards out, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say,
looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. He's going to take a shot right away, and that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. In for the score as his guys continue to pour it on. So not only is that his third touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort, so maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and a route is on here in this first half. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about it.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. To throw is Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Cousins now. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught, and he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half.
Next to score, Bears 56.
The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going back.
Sometimes you have
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing, Cousins, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
This time they stay on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Well, as an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. First buy-in near the 35. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Ready.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Let's go.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And they say officially it's a 68-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Carson Wentz, 2 touchdown passes as his guys make amends for the setback in Week 1. From there, let's get over to the Rockies to check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And they trail the visiting Bills in that ball game at halftime. John Brown, a touchdown catch in that first half. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And it was the visiting Carolina Panthers who were victorious in that one. Cam Newton, couple of touchdown passes as his guys win their second straight to start the year. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Fighting off the defender. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
First down, Bears.
Check 55. X3. 218. Chop it. Let him shoot.
On play action, they'll throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught.
Let's go.
A very nice pickup of 33 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. It's their quarterback. 27 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the second time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback. The ability to run the ball fearlessly. And in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that will extend this big lead. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins to throw it. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know,
it's caught inside the 25. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. 64 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on set. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins. And this one held in by Rudolph. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
Ready up. Check right. Watching you guys. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Play 3 of the drive now is successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. 2nd and 13. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better, 2 weeks in a row.
This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A big play there. 56 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's Cook. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Let's go, baby.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw, Cousins toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Jordan Lewis right there on the coverage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. This will be caught by Brown. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. First down, here's Cousins. And this is nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Come on, set. 60 Pittsburgh. Watch 54, watch 54. Man out. Deep rip.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
Let's go, fellas.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. McLaughlin for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A big kick that time. Comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He pitches it. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
He may try and run for this. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for Chicago. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run with Smith. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Get in the way. Get in the way.
Ready. And to give this time to the tailback. Just bowling over tacklers. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
60 or. Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from it.
That his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off right around the 43. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and that will extend this big lead. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment. And to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Chicago, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road test.